welcome back once again to the Small But Mighty Comic Room, Chunko Comics and Nerd Culture. The name's starting to stick with me. I am still doing the ums. I'm going to try to cut down on that. So, wanted to go over some more stuff that arrived. I have some things that arrived that I didn't show, a couple books, and then a couple really cool things that arrived just today, including a huge, huge book. It'll be a callback to one of the earlier videos you'll see, but let's start with a fit check here. This is Daredevil Battles of the Claw. This is the old version of Daredevil from the Golden Age, and this kind of character, the Claw here. I don't have any of those Daredevils. I've seen them presented. They're really cool, but I've focused elsewhere. Maybe someday. I think those covers are really, really cool. So let's get right into it. So I had a couple things that showed up. I had some books that are just more reader copies that I wasn't going to really show, but some cover art that I thought was really, really cool that I wanted to share. The first thing, it's a 1 in 1,000 variant, I believe. This is the artist is Will Jack, and he did this cover of, it's like a reimagining of Catwoman from Batman, and I think it's really well done. It is this, and I think it's fantastic. I think this is, it's obviously a very different version than what we've seen of Catwoman and different incarnations, but I think the artwork's absolutely beautiful. I think it's almost an anime kind of a face or whatever, but yeah, she's obviously a big Batman fan. I really like this one. I might send that in and get slabbed. Next, I just got this. They released a 2 or 3 versions of this, different characters. But this is a Josh Burns cover. It looked to me like a Nick Zierde cover, but it's not. It's Josh Burns. And it is a Shining homage, but completely different take on the where he's breaking through the bathroom door with the "Here's Johnny." But this is Red Sonja and Red Sonja's version of breaking through the bathroom door. And here's Johnny. So it is this. Not with an axe. She's breaking through the bathroom door. Again, fantastic artwork, and the face is hilarious, and yeah, the whole thing it's very funny. Another one that might have to get slabbed. I got those a little while ago. I didn't share those, but I wanted to as I was kind of going through and like bagging and boarding different things. I thought they were really cool and worth showing. Then I got a couple other things in the mail today. The first is another piece of original art. It's independent book. It's an artist named Frankie B. Washington out of New York City, and it's from a Penny Dreadful comic. I have not collected Penny Dreadful. I watched the TV show, but this is particularly cool, I think. Yeah, you see like the different kind of monster characters getting, like, I don't know, they're burning or electrocuted or something, but yeah, this is a page 21, and you can see he signed it, and I bought this from the artist on eBay, and I thought it was a really good price. It was $99. Original comic art for $99 is a steal. Even though this is independent book that a lot of people are not familiar with. I'm not familiar with. I actually looked for the comic. I could not find it. It's seems like a very limited print run. but really really cool nonetheless. And I kind of I like it. I'm gonna probably frame this. I have some small frames, and this will be hung and displayed. So yeah, like it a lot. And then I did something I said I wasn't gonna do. Earlier in the week, you saw me wearing a specific shirt and talking about a comic that I have wanted. I had the shirt of it, but I didn't really want to spend the money right now. And after making that video, I went onto eBay. I saw some online, a couple that I wasn't that interested in, where there was like pieces of cover missing. But then I saw one that was really, really cool, and the cover looked really great. And I made an offer to the person selling it, and he graciously accepted. I think that the offer I made was fair, and I think he's happy with it too. But still, was able to get it at a price that I think is reasonable for the comic. We still very expensive. I won't be buying big expensive books after getting this one and uh, and this one. It probably won't be till the spring that I splurge on another big book. It'll be $5-10 comics, maybe 15 for a little while here. But yeah, from 1954. This is Beware, number 10 in a 3.0. Yeah, Frank Frazetta cover, uh, all of the coolness, open grave, zombies. Although the one zombie's got a torch, which is a little strange. Uh, Woman in distress in the red dress, and yeah, like I said, that. Turn the slide off. Let's see if I can do that. That's a little better. Yeah, that's a little bit better. But yeah, the all the tropes that I like, and the cover's in wonderful condition, and I think this is going to display really well. It's going to go on the wall in the back. I think it's going to this Chamber of Chills is going to go to the side over here, and this will be one of the ones on the back wall. And it also just happens that the person I bought this from, I told him that I just started a YouTube channel, and I was just talking about this comic, and I saw that he subscribed. So shout out to Dave. Thanks, Dave. And yeah, this will be well represented, and if you tune in, you will see this on my back wall. This is going to remain part of my personal collection. This isn't going to be sold. This is a comic I've wanted for some time, and let's say it again. I love Frank Frazetta. Everyone loves Frank Frazetta. So, yeah, really, really, really cool. So, those were the things I had to show for today. I just wanted to address very, very briefly. I think a lot of YouTubers have addressed CGC, which, for those of you who are not really familiar, is the company that we send these comics in for grading, or the primary one. There are three right now. There's another one starting this year, but in these plastic slabs, these where it's protected and it's professionally graded and assessed to make sure that it's an authentic copy, that nothing is missing, that there's no alterations or anything restoration, anything like that. That it will or they'll verify signatures if it's signed. This company was called CGC. They were sold, I believe, last year to a huge conglomerate, big company, and they've raised prices a few times, and they're raising prices again this year. And there's a lot of I don't know rabbling from various YouTubers about this, and almost taking it personally. Like, I no, I don't think CGC hates you. I think that this is a this is the way business is, and honestly, it went up by very little for most books that you would submit. The only thing that went up by quite a bit is the reslabbing fee. If you have a damaged case and you need to send it in, that went up by quite a bit. And I would not have a problem with it, but the problem is, in my mind, is that service has gone down and they want to charge more. So the time that you have to wait to get books back from CGC has gone up exponentially, like absurd amounts. I have some what they call vintage books pre 1975. I have four of those in that were sent at the end of September. I sent them, and I don't have them. They're still there. So, yeah, totally unacceptable. Other books, like if you're sending very expensive books, those come back very, very quickly. They were sending more modern books; those come back. I've recently I've been getting those back in about a month. But these vintage books are not. These vintage books apparently just will sit forever. And there have been problems with this company. There have been comic book people know exactly what I'm talking about. That there was some fraud where someone was taking books out of slabs and sending them back in, sending a worse version of the comic in with the slab to be reslabbed, and calling it. They would come back showing it as a better grade, and then they were making a lot of money this way, and total fraud. CGC fell for this for quite some time. Additionally, there some of the cases that they were using earlier this year were bending the comics. They were calling them, it was called Banana Gate because they were kind of bananaing the comics within the slab. Again, totally unacceptable. In some cases, was damaging the comic. And then, there was word kind of late in the year where they laid a bunch of people off, and this, along with a special that they run, I think I talked about it, where you were able to submit 15 modern comics for like $15 each. These two things kind of happened at the same time, and it led to this huge lag in getting your books back. So you're having these kind of major issues. You're laying people off, and you're kind of spitting in the face of the people that are your customers. And then you want to, by having these huge wait times where your book is just kind of in limbo and you're just waiting, maybe someday you'll get it back. It's like a message in a bottle. And then you're going to charge them more money. That's hard. That's a hard thing to swallow. One thing that again comic book people happen to know is there's a new company that's entering the fray into grading comics. We'll see how that works. Clearly, CGC of the three companies that are around right now, despite these problems, they are still the best. You're going to get more for your comic selling it in a CGC slab than CBCS or the PDX. But the PSA thing, I wonder how that's going to go. So far, not impressed with the samples that I've seen. Way too large, and it doesn't look that great. I think the label looks amateurish and kind of silly. So I don't think unless by the time they start, I don't think it's going to go that well. But they did announce this, and that you have to have your books kind of submitted by the end of the month if you want anything graded. So I'm going to, rather than having to pay the increased prices, I'm going to send some things off. Sending some things off to Ron at Palm Beach Pressers. Once again, shout out Ron, and then have those go in. So yeah. Despite everything, I'm still going to send books, and I still believe in slabbing books. I think there are some times where raw makes a lot of sense, and there are some times where it just doesn't. So anyway, if you could like, comment, and subscribe. Always, I'm happy to hear from anybody. I've responded to every message, I believe. If I didn't, feel free to MF me in the comments if I neglected yours. But I think that's it for this one. It's already dragged on a bit longer than I thought it would. So yeah, yeah. Drop a like, and if you can comment, that would be great, because or share the video with people who like comic book content. I would appreciate it. I'm going to try to get. I think I'm up to 11 subscribers, which means I'm not talking to nobody. I'm talking to some people. If I ever get to like 100 subscribers, we'll see. I think I'm going to start doing like giveaways and maybe even live streams and that kind of thing. Maybe at that point, once you get like 100 subscribers, maybe people start to invite you on their live streams, because you have not zero people watching you. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for subscribing and watching and all that. I appreciate it. Cheers for now.